Hey y'all, what is up? Welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. It really just depends if you're new here or not. Now, I uploaded a video the other day and this one comment specifically caught my attention and I was like, well, let's discuss this together. Let's have this conversation. Now, uploading Eugenia Cooney content, there has been a few things that I've noticed among the demographic who view her, and there's either people who one, really aren't a fan of her. There's two people who want her to get better. There's trolls, and there's also people who enable. But there's also people sometimes who comment, and I genuinely think to myself, do you understand the severity of this? Do you understand the disorder? Do you really know what's going on, or do you just see her and you think, oh, she's just a skinny girl? Because I got this comment, and I want to read it, but I do want to say I blocked out the person's name. I don't want anybody coming for this person, so let's get right into it. Now, this person said she is a skinny girl, and it's mostly fat women who hate on her. There's people who are more skinny like celebrities, and they don't get half of what the YouTuber gets. Let her live, and stop making yourself look bad by hating on her. I did reply to this person, and we're going to be getting into that reply in just a minute. They did reply back to me. I replied back to them. It's a little conversation that we had. Not really a conversation, but we're going to be getting into it. I just want to say, there is a few things I want to address with this first thing that I didn't address in the comment section. And one is strictly that comment about she's just a skinny girl, and it's mostly fat women who are hating on her. I didn't like that at all because, let's be so for real, I feel like people who either one watch Eugenia Cooney or two watch Eugenia Cooney, there's two different reasons here why I think. One is people who are concerned about her, or people who just are curious about her situation, or people who followed her on the internet for a period of time and they're either rooting for her or not rooting for her. And two, I think people follow her because they might struggle with body image as well, or something along those lines, maybe have the same disorder or have recovered from the disorder. So I feel like to throw in a weight argument there, it's crossing a line, it's crossing a boundary. Now, I've had comments in the past, and I've had a lot of people say, if you're going to be calling out her for her looks, you need to call out, mukbang channels and people who push obesity like it's a good thing. I have my own thoughts and opinions on that side of the spectrum as well when it comes to weight and what you're putting out there and what you're making basically your entire image and your niche. I feel like, of course, it's not okay to be obese and push that like it's a good thing, because what we see on camera, we don't understand the true repercussions of what their body goes through and the backlash that their body gets from literally consuming that much food. It's not good, it's not healthy. We've seen mukbang channels who have actually passed away from doing so in the past. But we've also seen on this side of the weight spectrum frail people who have pushed eat content and they've passed. It's a lose-lose on both sides of the spectrum if you're so far down on that line. But I think that having the argument that, oh, she's just skinny and it's mostly fat people who hate on her is, I'm not trying to invalidate anybody, but to me that seems very invalid, and I just didn't like that comment. But I ended up replying to her because her just saying that she was skinny, again, is an issue, in my opinion. And I said, she's not skinny, she's emaciated. To which they replied and said, skinny. To which I then replied, emaciated, because there is a difference. Now, Eugenia always used the claim that she was just born naturally skinny. And if I'm being honest, if we look back at these photos and back at her earlier on era, coming onto YouTube, doing You Now, yeah, she was very, very skinny, but we could tell there was something else going on because she didn't hold that look. She continued to lose weight. And y'all, just in case y'all couldn't tell, I'm going to go back and edit this, and I'm going to put a trigger warning at the beginning of the video because this is going to be a topic and discussion about weight. Not everybody is going to be here for it. If you're not in the mental headspace to have this conversation, please click away. Take care of your own mental health at the end of the day. But I feel like this is very important to talk about because there is a lot of people out there who have and share the same type of opinion that this person had about there's nothing wrong with her, she's just skinny. But that's a huge misconception. Now, I don't think this girlie realizes there is a clear difference from being skinny and being emaciated. So I wanted to have this conversation today because there might be other people who watch my content who don't realize there is a strong difference in definition between these two words. This is emaciated. This isn't skinny. This isn't healthy. Again here, this is emaciated. This is emaciated, and this is as well. And for somebody to sit out there and look at this girl in her current condition and be like, oh, she's just skinny, y'all need to let her live her life. There's something not clicking properly in your head. Now we're going to be taking a look at the definitions and the clear difference between them, because clearly this girl don't get it, and there might be other people out there who just don't see the difference or get the definitions. And it says here, while both skinny and emaciated describe thinness, emaciated indicates a severe unhealthy degree of thinness, often due to malnutrition or illness, where the body appears bony and gaunt, while skinny is a more general term for being thin. Again, Missy ma'am, let's take a look at this. Skinny. This term is a general descriptor for someone who is thin, often used in a casual or non-medical context. Again, non-medical context. Emaciated. This term describes a more severe state of thinness, characterized by a skeletal appearance with visible bones, sunken features, and a significant loss of muscle and fat. Now, this kind of opened my eyes to a broader conversation that needs to be had here, because like I said, there is a large demographic for Eugenia Cooney content, and like I said, there's a variety of reasons as to why that is the case. There's people who use her as like a sizing thing and it's gross. There's people who come to her page and look at her like it's like goals, and then there's people who come to her page because like I said, they're concerned, but then there's other people who I think are trying to be in defense of her without truly understanding the health ramifications that she's currently going through by, again, being emaciated. This isn't skinny. It's not skinny. I'm thin, but I'm not emaciated. There is a clear difference, and I think that it's very concerning to see people jump into her defense with that claim. And like I said, if one person said it, there's probably more people out there who look at that and would agree with it, or even never come across that content and look at Eugenia and feel that way. And I just think that that's concerning, and we see so many enablers who jump in her live streams and continue to support her, continue to gift her, and enable her to continue going down this rabbit hole like she's Alice in Wonderland when it comes down to having this disorder. You know, even her mom, even Eugenia's mom came onto stream and was like, oh no, she's just a skinny mini. She takes care of herself. Missy ma'am, there is a clear difference, like I said, from being skinny and being like this. This is incredibly and unacceptably frail. This is definitely going to be a really short video on my end, but I just really wanted to have that quick little conversation with y'all. Like I said, I'm going to have a trigger warning at the beginning because it's not going to be for everybody, and I really hope that people who aren't in the headspace to have this type of conversation or like sit around and listen to it, I really hope y'all did click away, for those of you who like need to protect your mental peace at this point. But that's important to talk about. I feel like, you know, it's okay to defend somebody, but if you're going to defend somebody, can you be so for real about it? What people need is the truth, no matter how harsh that the truth is. And yes, there are people who look at this channel and think I'm a bully channel. And that's fine. I like those comments don't even bother me, to be honest, because I know my intention coming in when I do make a video at the end of the day, and as long as I know what it is, I don't feel the need to like justify myself. But I feel like, yeah, the truth is harsh a lot of the times, and especially in cases like this, you can't sugarcoat everything. Not everything is going to be a field of daisies and lollipops and gumdrops and sugar. You can't take something as dark as this and then just make it shine. You know what I mean? Like, you can't sugarcoat everything. And it's just, like I said, it was concerning to me that somebody really couldn't tell the difference between skinny and emaciated. And I was like, girl, like, why would you even make this comment? But yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna wrap this video up. I really don't have that much else to say. I just wanted to address that. I don't know how many of y'all agree with that comment about her just being skinny, but if you do think that way, I really think that y'all should do a little bit more research on this subject and understand this isn't somebody who was just born thin. This is something that does have that medical context behind it of her going through an actual disorder. She's not skinny. She's emaciated. But with that being said, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And with that being said, I will catch you in the next damn video. Alright, bye. And by the way, if you are the person who left this comment and you want to speak again, please nobody send hate to this person either, okay? Like, I just want to be very clear. We can agree to disagree, and we can also have these open conversations about the subject at hand. So I do feel like I wanted to make this video, one, because I felt like it was important to show y'all the clear difference between those two words, but also to kind of try to help that person understand, hey, there is a clear difference, and this isn't healthy, this isn't okay. It's not just being skinny at this point. It's being very frail and people being very concerned. So I hope that this clarified to this person that it's not skinny. You know, it's not just being skinny. But for other people who, like I said, agree with that comment, I hope that this also opens y'all's eyes a little bit more. And like I said, if you are that person, I did blur out your name for your sake. Like, I don't want people to scroll and find that comment and then jump down her throat. Like, I'm not trying to lead a hate train here or anything like that. But if you do want to clarify why you feel that way or why you think that way, we can all have an open conversation about it. We can have a discussion about it. And I really encourage everybody to be open-minded. Let's have a civil discussion whenever it comes down to this. Please don't send hate to anybody, and let's not, like, if this girl does clarify in the comment section, let's not, like, attack her for it, okay? Let's just have a conversation. And with that being said, yes, okay, goodbye.